We use one of this, we're like.
Let's see what noise.
Okay.
Noise. I don't know. We didn't see that. Okay, that's fine. 20 minutes.
We're not.
So this, for those that are watching, this is a recap. This is the Youth Activities Task Force regularly scheduled meeting. We do have quorum. We already went through public comments that in the room. If there's any public comments, I am opening it back up right now. There's one participant. It is us.
It's not still me. It could be on YouTube, it doesn't count. When it's on YouTube.
No, it does not. Public comments is closed. Okay, we already had, we made a motion to accept the minutes as presented, and that was passed. Order of business, we added Halloween to the agenda.
Perfect. So as I was saying, guys, welcome. So YTF, it's been around for a long time. Some people in this committee have been here for 10 years, 13 years. And we get a budget from the town council to put together events for our community. All of us who are here are appointed by either the mayor or one of the 6 other elected council members of Miami Lakes. And we take an oath to be here and to spend taxpayer money properly and to put together these amazing events for the community. So just so you guys know, because I know all of you guys, I'm investing if you're here because you're interested in joining. Every council member and mayor can appoint 2 people. There's 7 of them. So that means there's 14 people in the committee. By our committee rules, there cannot be more than 7 minors or 7 students. So
Under 18,
under 18, right? So that's kind of where we're at right now. Our committee is
7
1,
students.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 12 people, but there's not really any student spots right now. The 2 other spots are really for adult members. So that's just where we're at. If you guys are interested, there's an application on the website. Fill that out because once vacancies start coming up, I'm resigning in a few months. There may be some other.
Cause you're
committee members.
graduating.
So
Because I'm graduating right now, moving away for college, so have your application on file, because what happens is that then council members are given those applications and they get to pick someone to appoint. Of course, if you're here, some of you guys have been coming to here for a while, you know, the chair, sometimes the council members call the chair for input. And, you know, the chair can be like, oh, you know, this person's been coming to our events, they've been helping out. Doesn't mean they have to listen to him necessarily, usually they do, but it's up to the council member to appoint you. So I want you guys to know that we appreciate those of you who have been coming for a while. We appreciate those of you guys who this is your first meeting. It's not as easy as just applying and getting you in. There's limited spots and vetting processes and limitations. So yeah, just so you guys know, and then, you know, I hope you keep coming, have your application in already. And that way, when I resign, some other members might resign, spots are gonna start opening up. Some members start when they turn 18. We're trying to see if we can make them count as an adult now instead. So, like, technically, I guess that would open up a
You
student
just
spot.
have to.
We have to, so we're working on it, but I just want for all of you guys to know that.
So just really quick, do not let it discourage you, although we are full on student spots. Student spots open up quicker than adult spots, although we have 2 adult spots open right now. Like Moritz said, people go to college, they resign. As of right now, we might have 1 opening up soon. But that's gonna fill up quickly because there's already someone out, they're already looking at. Just because,
There's 3.
well, 1 right now. Until the next 2 would be in like July or August, but right now we have 1 that's gonna be.
In total, it's like 5 of you here?
I moved up to an adult.
You moved up to an adult.
Yeah, but we don't know that because I emailed the clerk for me.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
see,
well, we have to see that if even possible.
it's when you graduate, because sometimes they also consider college.
It can be, because the official language in the rules is student. So if you're still in high school, you're technically still student, it's doesn't,
Yeah.
so back to.
But when they graduate.
We have
When you
to-
graduate, yeah, when you graduate, yeah.
But either way, for those that don't know how it works, there's a meeting every month. At least 1 meeting every month. Sometimes there can be more if we have to have emergency meetings. That's at the discretion of the chair. I could cancel meetings. I canceled last week's meeting and moved it this week. There's different things that we could do. You do have to show up to the events. There used to be a event cap, but not showing up to events does not look good, and the council does look at that. So that could get removed very quickly, and right now, 1 is being removed because of that. so. Just so you guys are aware. Let me see, let me think. Yeah, it's pretty fair, simple, follow the rules, be respectful to all the committee members if you do decide to join. If I tell you, if you talk to me and I say I will push for you, that does not guarantee that you are getting on the committee. Just so you are aware, because other people can be appointed before you. I do not have the final say of who is on the committee and who is not.
It's really up to the council.
It's up to the council members. Because they could say yes to you and then go ahead and appoint someone else right behind you, and it's happened before, many times. Many times. Yeah. Overall, it is a fun committee, like Maritz said, or I said earlier, I've been here for 13 years, Ariana's going on almost 10 years,
Been here 5.
5 years, so it is a good committee to be a part of. Like I said, we've been here for a very long time, we know how it works here. I started when I was a freshman in high school. And it's been a long time out of high school. So just keep that in mind. If you want, you can talk to me, you can talk to any of the committee members. The best person to link up with, honestly, is me, because I'm the one that they usually call for recommendations on the committee, and you can ask Ernie that.
And this is Ernie. Ernie is not
No, you're right.
so he's part of our family, right? But
Nobody.
he's not enough.
He is
I'm ready to go out.
So every committee in the
Not even
town,
there. not even there.
So really quick, I'm gonna make this quick and easy. For layout of the committee, there are 14 committee members plus 1 officer on our committee.
which is Amador.
Amador is not considered a committee, or he, I don't know.
Well, he is, but he represents the police
He
department.
represents the police
Every
department.
committee evaluates is assigned an employee of the town
Liaison.
to be here, and serve as our liaison and help us put the events together. So things we motion for, his job is to make it happen.
Yep.
So, he works for the Parks and Rec department in our town and
He's our
great.
bridge.
And yeah.
So behave.
But yeah, so the best thing to do is you could get, I'm okay with giving my information, or if they ask for it, just give them my number, or whatever, don't email me because I'm not gonna get it. That's how I forgot that yesterday there was a meeting for the ad hoc committee. Literally, email. It's okay, I'll go to the next one. So yeah, it's pretty fair and simple, easy. Like I said, usually what we do is we don't have a meeting every single month. Out of the whole year, there's probably 1 or 2 meetings that I do cancel because why not? That's usually during December before Christmas and August when school starts. No, not June, July. Don't put that in their head because we do have meetings and that, once that new committee rule comes into effect, that will affect your attendance because that's unexcused if you go on vacation. Yeah,
Yeah, no, to share it. I got one over here, I mean, they could kind of share it.
all right.
That's why I thought.
Cool, so I'm gonna close
Pass it around.
item 6, we're gonna try to move through this quickly, there's not that much that we have to go over, but there are a few things. When it comes to, so we're gonna go to item 6, Halloween, we need to decide on a date for this. We talked about last meeting, we talked about the Friday, which is actual Halloween night, which I think is a great idea, in my opinion, but it's up to the committee to decide, or the week, literally a week before, to do it on a Saturday. If I'm being honest, I don't think anyone's gonna show up to that, because it's a full week before, I'd rather figure it out and do it on the Friday, bring people after school and work faster. There are times, if you look at when we do it on our Saturdays, there's a lot of downtime, so I think we can get it done if we do it after school and have people come in.
What was the,
Did we ever look into that for the field trip?
It's gonna be a field trip, I'm trying to.
what was the downside to having it on
On the
Friday?
Friday, a little bit less time to set up. But we could start setting, so what we could do is if we could have the community center available to us on the night before, on Thursday, we could lay out everything, have everything ready. And literally on Friday, pick everything up and go put it out. We've done that in the past, that's how we used to do it, when it was on a Friday or on a week, on a day that we had very little time, because we have done it on a Friday. And that usually Halloween night is our more successful time for this event specifically.
I can get the room, that isn't a problem, we're ways away from.
And with that, we need all committee participation, everyone hands on deck, because obviously students have school, it's gonna be more of the adults hands on deck. I know some of you work at the schools and some work, so, but we could figure something out and try to get it done. I think it's
I
possible.
think I could get a field trip. I think I
There's
could.
gonna be several sitting around us right now who might not be available until, or who might not be available, period. Cause they're not gonna be here, and then you have everyone else,
Yeah, which is
aka
fine.
volunteers at school.
But that's fine. I think if we do it, we have to be on top of it. We assign people, this is your area, this is where you're setting up. We could tarp the whole Holland house on Thursday. And be ready to decorate it on Friday.
It'll be hard, right? That's the thing.
I really need, I mean, if we're gonna do this now, I really need you guys to.
I don't know if we
to
can, I can
commit.
get it as a field trip or not, that's the thing. If I can't get it as a field trip,
That's difficult, so.
It's really hard.
From
I mean, if I
from what it
can
seems,
move
it
it,
looks like it's a
yeah, I
difficult.
can move it to
thing.
next month if you could ask.
No, because it isn't of.
And then on top of that, the
Importance.
students would have to go back to school at 2:20 to have their parents
Bring them back.
drive
Yeah,
them
'cause
back to the park. It wouldn't make sense to have it as. a
It would be
trip.
crazy.
That's what I'm saying right off. So, I mean, I could hold it until next meeting, but we gotta make a decision soon.
When we did the whole like layout of the dates for the events, we didn't have this at the beginning of the year. Or did we not do that this
We
year?
didn't do it
I
because,
mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. It's, you know, it's what Brian
it's
said.
because it's the next budget year.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have to be back at school at 2:20 if it's a field trip.
No.
You know,
No.
you know.
They
Uh,
leave for the day.
Did we check to see if there was a teacher planning anything?
Well, hold it.
No.
The thing is, I need to
We
find
checked.
out.
I
think
Nobody
we
knows.
checked
Did
I
check?
need to find out.
There's no
No.
teacher planning. I have a question, what time would, if we do it that Friday, what time would you expect?
We could also
the
move the
members
event
to
to
be?
start later. Because it is a Friday.
What time does it normally
That means
start?
we'll end
Six
at like
starts
2
at
a.m.
6. No, it doesn't mean we'll.
Or we just have a shorter event.
No, it usually ends at 9. We could end it at 10.
No, it's at
Or
Okay,
at
so
10. We
we'll
can end it
start
at 11.
7.
We've done it till midnight before.
That isn't a bad idea.
Friday
It's a
night.
Friday,
It's a Friday
you
night.
know, children are not gonna be, are not gonna go to
What
school
time
the
would you
following day.
expect, like, us to be there? The members of
I'd say the
YA.
latest for us is 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
4 o'clock. I could get there
I
earlier,
could be there
more
at 3.
likely.
I could be there at 3 for sure.
The earlier the better. The more hands on deck that we have working, the better. Obviously, the students would have
That's
to
the
get there
problem, the
by
kids
5
getting
o'clock.
transportation, they have to get there.
Yeah, I'd say 4 o'clock.
Let's say 4, they could be there by 4, the kids, the
Or-
high school kids could be there by
Yeah.
4.
What you can do is get a bus for after school and make.
Bring everybody over.
I think
We
that's
have-
not a bad
idea.
And that's
You
what
guys
we
can-
do, and
And
after
we'll get a
school
bus
bus,
for
yeah.
after school and then go wait there.
The
until-
bus could pick them up at 3 o'clock.
That's what we do for.
This
BT
charter.
For
events.
BT events. Leave at school at 3, they could be there at
Good idea.
3:30.
Cause they're less
Hold
strict.
on,
We
hold on.
don't have to pay for it.
How much?
We have,
bus?
we have,
350.
we have children here who are not from, you guys are.
No, yeah,
you guys
I'm
are just
talking-
looking
We'd
at
have to, we'd have to
Yeah.
figure it out. We'd have to be in the planning.
But the other,
Heritage,
the other high
you
schools.
guys are not close to us, right?
No, they're not.
No. they're
And your
far.
schools
They're
aren't close to us either,
No,
right?
no, private schools, no, they're far. But I'm saying for Goldman HML, we could do buses that pick them up at 3 o'clock for the local high school.
Well, I know you guys get out earlier than the other schools. Private schools get out earlier than.
No,
public
no, they
schools.
have the same schedule.
What time do you guys get out of school?
Well, they get out
We'll make it
later.
at 4, so that's fine.
What I'm saying is, the buses could pick them up at the public schools. If we do HML, Barbara Goldman and Miami Lakes Educational Center, the buses could be there at 3
The
o'clock.
majority are public school anyway, so.
And then go over to the, and come, and be at the school, be at the park by 3:30.
Trust me, I
Start
did it,
setting up.
I did it while I was in high school. I went to Pace, so for those that don't know, hold on.
I see a lot of complications.
I did it while I was in high school. I did it when Tony was the chair. And we got it done on a Friday. With 2 of us setting up. So if we have more hands on deck, I think we can get it done. There's gonna be a big event. Sadly, we didn't have the turnout we wanted for Easter, just so you guys are aware. No, we didn't. Yes, it was. So I think we need to make it big with Halloween. I know, well, I'm gonna go over that with Springfield.
What do you mean less?
There's a lot of people there.
There was a lot of people, but not like there was in previous years, and I'll go over that.
You're gonna say that. This is, I said it before, this event is not an event where you're like scrounging for people. It's always a super successful event. If you have it on Saturday, or you have it on Friday, it's gonna be successful. But look at all the logistics of the event. You know, all the complications that you're gonna have. That's what you guys need to look at.
Yeah.
Are you know, because you're talking about a lot of extra stuff. Everything you just added now wouldn't be needed for Saturday.
Well, I didn't,
Before you.
I didn't add the buses and all that stuff. If it was up to me, I'd have everyone get there on their own. I've done it in the past as a high school student, and we had high school students get there at 4 o'clock and get this event together in an hour. To open at 5. We've done it before.
I mean, I understand it's possible, but do we want that stress and that uncertainty of
That's
so
why
many
you
things?
prepare
that-
ahead of time,
you
you
know?
just take
Through
everything.
the chair, I think it's rough. I don't see it being possible. I've worked this event now 4 times and we get there at like 9 a.m. and we, and it's, and we're still rushed and,
So,
he's, you know, so.
Here's what I'll suggest.
Put it up for a vote, guys.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna suggest is, before we put up a vote, I'm gonna talk to the town council and the town to see what they wanna do and what they recommend doing, because at the end of the day, they want a bang for their buck. So, doing it a week before, we're gonna have a lot less turnout than what we're gonna have on the Friday of actual Halloween, so there might, you know what I mean? I'd rather take it to them and see what they want, because then if it is one of those events where there's not that many people, because it is a week before, they're gonna ask us why we didn't do it on Halloween on the weekend.
Yeah, but they're also gonna consider, Brian.
They,
Well,
I'm
the
being
reason
honest
why-
with you, I'm being honest with
Hold
you,
on,
they
hold
don't,
on.
because we've had events like that, and
Hold-
guess what, that event was no longer on our line item the year after.
Brian, hold on. They're not gonna, first and foremost, they're not gonna remove the Halloween event.
They tried
That's
to
first and
sprinkling
foremost.
from us.
What they will ask you is, well, why is it that you don't want it on Halloween night? You have to, and then you have to tell them what we're arguing about, right? What we're trying to get, something out of this. You have to understand.
That's fine. So that's what I would recommend, is we could talk to the town and the town council and see what they recommend. And go from there,
I say we invite a council member,
the next
one of
meeting,
them, sure.
To discuss it,
to discuss it.
so we can explain.
And remember,
voice
they give
our
us money.
concerns.
We wanna use this money wisely, so.
Putting all that aside too, but don't a lot of people that night, don't they wanna take their kids trick or treating
They
or Halloween parties?
No, that's the Saturday, always the Saturday before is what people do, people do their parties, believe it or not.
I don't like the idea of having a Halloween event, November 1st. I don't like it.
No,
I
say
don't
the
like it.
Saturday
It just
before, the
doesn't- it doesn't
25th,
sound
October
right.
25th.
It doesn't sound right.
Which is not that far.
It's not that far. it's
From
the
the 20
week
last year
before.
was the 26th.
Yeah, it's
It's
the
a
week
day.
before.
That's what
Sorry,
I,
but-
no, that's where I was trying to get at. If it was on the 26th, think about it, you make the count. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 6 days after, 6 days before.
It's
I'm giving my recommendation, it's up to the committee, if they wanna vote, you are more than welcome to vote, but
Let's vote.
if it were up to me, I'd bring a
Let's
council
do it.
member in and
Yes,
let them.
motion.
Like
Can one of us motion to vote?
That's what I would do.
We vote, we make a motion and we vote.
No, I know, but don't we have, okay, so, but he has to open it up to vote, I forget.
I don't need to open up.
One motion for what they want.
Okay.
So we vote.
I motion to have the Halloween event on the Saturday before
Saturday the
Halloween,
25th.
the 25th.
I second.
You need times on
Oh,
it.
I second.
Both times, okay,
It's usually
From
from 6 to 10.
from 6 to 10.
We have a motion, we have a second,
I second.
any discussion? This is I would rather hold it to next meeting, but it's up to the committee.
Oh, can I edit my motion actually? Amend.
Go ahead.
If like the council, after you talk to the council,
If they change their mind.
if they change their mind, thank you.
Then we
Right.
can
Yeah.
amend our decision.
Okay, there's an amendment to the motion, any discussion, or do I have a second to that amendment?
A second.
No second. Any discussion? I don't see a reason to vote then, wait, just go talk to council.
Also let them know that we voted one way or the other, so they know what we
So
want.
they know-
Either way, I would tell them what we're leaning towards.
It's just to give them, to let them know that we have a concern,
Uh-huh.
and we just need some kind of, middle ground here, just to have it, just so we're better off with it, right?
Mhm.
If we're uncertain.
We
about
could
it.
invite them to the next council meeting to give input, things like that.
Are you good with one, or you want, try to get all?
We can get as many as we want, we can invite all of them.
They're gonna be here, but
So,
So do we vote now?
that's my discussion. Any other discussion?
Mm.
Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye.
That was on the amendment.
It was on both.
So we're voting or we're not?
Weird.
Well, that was the motion with the
So you-
amendment.
That was, so the amendment passed, but so you
Oh,
still,
sorry, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That was the amendment. Okay, now we can vote on the actual motion. Any discussion on the actual motion? Not seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Motion passes. Cool. With that amendment, I'll go ahead and go to the town council. Can we invite them to the next meeting?
absolutely not.
I don't. Maybe a few, but
No conflict,
Well, let's-
Brian. This is a big deal. It's a big event.
let's get through this and run.
I know.
We'll move on to the time capsule. Not much movement on that. That's about it. That's why I'm there.
For the time capsule, just so you all know, I'm going to move forward with the time capsule that we all
Yeah.
agreed to. And, yeah, that's gonna be purchased very, very soon. So just letting you all know.
Any questions? No, perfect. Spring fling, quick recap. This is gonna be very quick because we can talk about this later on, but this is just like a quick thing. Overall successful event, like I said earlier, there were a lot less people than there were last year. Advertising was horrible for this event, once again. Sorry for the tongue, but yes, horrible advertising once again. They posted pictures and then put the flyer at the end. And most people don't keep scrolling. And they weren't even fun pictures, they're just kids on the floor with eggs. Overall, great event. A few quick things. One, we need to make sure we are in control of this event. Vendors are not in control of our event. That is the biggest thing that we need to remember. It is our event, the vendor's not in control. When we say goes, right? They cannot bring other companies to advertise their companies at these events. Because we have sponsors that happened at this event with the dance team. Without us knowing. They had intent and everything giving out their stuff. That cannot happen again.
Did anybody find out how they made it? Like who told them? or-
Oscar.
Yeah, he told them to show up.
That's why I'm saying that we need to have control of our event and approve what's coming in and what's coming out. Another concern that was brought up to me was this was advertised as a free event and people had to pay to do so. And this was brought up by the town council to me. No, I love Oscar, but Oscar's stuff was paid. You needed to pay to use it and it was extremely expensive if you looked at the prices. Cause I saw the prices, I know. Angelica saw the prices. Just for the little, just so as an
Laser
example,
tag
the
was
laser tag was
$20.
$20 a child per round.
Okay, hold on. The activities that we, the town,
Yeah.
provides,
For free.
the pony rides, the
Yeah.
face paints,
But
and the pennies
it was
are free of cost.
correct, but it was also brought up that the only thing that should have been paid for by the guests there was food.
So
That
what
was
did you have?
brought up
So
by
what-
the town council.
hold on, Brian. We've
That- that's what-
vendor.
I know, but we have a new town council, that's. the
We've
problem.
had vendor, okay, but this is what I'm trying to say. You can't just go ahead and agree on that with them. You tell them, in the past,
I did tell them.
we've
that
had
that's
people
what they want.
buy little plastic laser guns. And they're selling that, and that's not free.
No, they're not selling it. They weren't selling it. And I'm not talking about the selling of the toys and all that
No,
stuff.
I understand,
about the actual-
I understand, but of course, if I say this is a free event. I think everyone going to the event will most certainly know that food trucks are not free. That if you're gonna buy a game, or if you're gonna get your child involved in the bowling alley, that's not free either. It
understand
specifies that what's free is. You know, the
I
face painters and all
understand
that,
that, but I'm just bringing up a concern that the council brought up to me.
okay,
They called me. If it was me, I'd leave it, but they called me.
should have called
I
me
literally called me at work,
at work.
To tell me. That's their
One person?
concern.
It
If
was
it
one
was-
person that called you.
it was more than one. But,
They threw with you.
no,
Oh.
different calls. One of them called me at work. But just so you guys are aware, that is one of their concerns. It was very expensive for these activities. If you look at these prices. And two, they want it to be free, unless it's like the food trucks where you pay for food or like the little toys that you could buy.
And that's why we separate the food truck area
No, I get it,
and
but
you know,
I'm just bringing up the town's concerns, the council's concern.
well, do me a favor, if that ever happens
got you.
again,
I didn't think
please,
about
hey,
it.
listen, hey, go talk to Ernie about that.
I got you.
I'll handle it.
Is there there's new council members. They
Of
don't
course,
know
no,
how-
they ain't there,
Or-
they ain't there.
So they need to be just brought
I
up
got
to.
It's not you, it's definitely not you, I know you know, no, I'm talking about you, I know you know what's going on. But also letting them know ahead of time what it is, like I said, because if they don't know, they're going to assume.
Yep.
But you need to find out what's really going on before you make an assumption.
That's fine. Also, a few other quick things that I learned from the council as well. When we vote on something as a committee, the town cannot tell us, they can tell us no, but we go talk to the council when that happens. we have to vote on it first before the council says no. Just so you are aware. So when things are brought up, we can vote on it. And if the town says no, we could go to council to ask for permission for it. It goes through the council, not the town. I learned that the other day.
Could you give me an example?
Example, yeah. I
So
was
for
just about to ask.
example, the whole, remember the thing with the alcohol?
Yeah.
We could have voted on that. If we voted yes on it. And the town said no,
Right.
but the council wanted it, we'd go to the council for it. Because part of that conversation from the council was the alcohol conversation.
Okay.
And that is most likely coming next year and coming to Halloween as well. Because that's what they want.
For Halloween?
Halloween, I think it's a little.
At night time?
Oh, hold on.
That's not my decision, that's what they are telling me. But you understand what I'm saying, when, I know there's a lot of things that are shut down from above us. But we can get them, if we wanna do something, we have the power to vote on it and go to council, and ask for it.
And vice versa, sorry for the questions, like if we vote no for the alcohol, let's say, they have the power to
They vote on
reverse
it,
that?
if they vote on it on a meeting,
Technically, they have
Got it.
power over the
Okay.
committee.
they can, one of them can't just
Yeah.
have us vote it.
But I'm giving, that was just an example.
Okay, yeah.
So like, let's say we wanted to do the helicopter, right? Which, that's another thing, but we won't talk about that today. If we wanted to really do the helicopter and they said no, if someone told us no. And it did not come from the town council, then that's not a no.
Got it.
It has to go through the town council.
And the council would have to vote on that.
Right.
That's how I was explained.
Got it.
Don't take it as I'm completely correct, but that's how it was explained to me. That the committee is here to vote on stuff and we make decisions regarding the events. And then it goes to council for approval if there's pushback from the town. Okay. So don't get discouraged when we're told no right away, we could still vote on it, and
Understood.
I just wanted to bring that up to you guys because there have been things we wanted to do and we can't do because someone from the town said no, but then the council was like, why didn't we do it anyway?
Maybe you could bring it up at the committee chair meeting.
I'll bring that up too. So, regarding that, attendance was lower this year compared to other years. If you look, there wasn't as many people as we have had in the past. That park used to be a lot more slammed and full. People dispersed really quickly due to the whole dancing group thing. Ariana saw it. If you were there, you saw it. Once that dance group got up, that park emptied out real quick. It was a little inappropriate for what we do at our events. It's extremely inappropriate. What was? Let's just say there were girls dancing very explicitly, little girls.
But like performing?
On the stage.
I missed that.
Um,
I do remember asking, who is this dance team?
I'm sure you didn't want to say that. Oh, yeah, everybody was dressed like the same thing. I'm like, who are these?
The committee, and that was
we
part of it
asked.
where they brought
Yeah.
their company, they brought a tent, they were advertising their company without us approving it
Got it.
and not paying for it with us.
Okay.
So we do need to talk to family food trucks about that. If they're gonna bring, yes, they can bring their own vendors for stuff, but they cannot be advertising other companies when we have title sponsors and sponsors sponsoring this event and giving money to.
Agreed.
I think that's a big thing. I love family food trucks, but there has to be,
No, that's fine. It's as simple as,
and especially like a dance group and a performance, that has to come through us
Yeah.
to approve it.
Okay, that was brought up by the vendor.
I didn't know.
Like the DJ literally had no control. We paid for the DJ and they were controlling the DJ.
Hmm.
So at one point, me and Angie went up to the DJ and say, start playing normal music, these guys are done.
I mean, yeah, I think if there's someone that's gonna perform on stage, that should be brought by us.
to our attention.
I mean,
Agreed.
that's like,
Agreed 100%.
that to me is
Hey,
100%.
really quick, any other quick feedback on the event?
Oh, only thing is, I think not all people would agree with me, is I would like to have like 10 more volunteers, that's my thing.
Oh, you're talking about volunteers that I've been asking
No,
for more
but that's different.
volunteers.
Hold your horses there. You want a 75.
I
He's asking
want
for
10.
10 more, that'll be equal to 50. Remember that one, so,
Right, you were right, 100,000.
But no, honestly, the volunteers that were there were great. I know there's some of them in this room that were here, you guys were great.
Oh,
And that's the other thing I wanted to bring up, when we have our volunteers, it is, we cannot give those out to the vendors. Just as a heads up, they're with
Oh,
us,
you see.
they're under our,
Yeah, there are five of them, there are five.
that's
But then
another
it's
thing.
fucking-
Why not?
five volunteers.
Cause the
But they-
vendors
because
not
that's our-
background check to work with the volunteers. We are all technically background checked to work with volunteers. And you guys were dealing with money and all that stuff, right?
No.
What?
Yep,
You were dealing with money?
What? Oh, boy.
selling the stuff.
Studying what were you selling?
We're doing the games and all that stuff. I saw it.
I saw it. I did not.
I don't know about that.
That's a big no-no.
That's a big no.
So, my recommendation from this point forward is Oscar has to bring his own people.
Yeah.
And the vendors need to bring their own people if they need help with stuff. We can help with their line management, but that's about it.
Oh, then that's what, well, he came up to me, he goes, not this event, last event. He asked me for about 5 or 6. I said, bro, whatever you need, go on. He goes, yeah, it's just to help me with the picking up of the garbage. And that was it.
No, they were not doing that. So,
Good to know.
from here on out, I would keep them with us and only what we're doing. And that's it. They are our volunteers and we are responsible
We're
for them.
responsible.
Cause if something were to happen to them under theirs,
Absolutely.
that's not on them, that's on us.
Oh, another thing is, I know we ask for this every year and it's kind of difficult. Caution tape, because we were kind of sharing
Yeah,
one caution tape.
So
So just like one, yeah, I know that's like 4 rules.
It's not even that. I just can't stand caution tape, man. So it looks,
Barricades.
that's what we need.
Yeah,
Someone got.
So,
but if we don't.
that's
get
what,
there-
that's what I was gonna talk about. So, like I was saying earlier with the helicopter, the church was able to do a helicopter. In a closed parking lot with trees all around it.
Wait, what church was that?
Elevate.
The church has permission to do that because they don't answer to the
Correct.
town.
But the town, like I was saying earlier, if we vote on it and the council wants it, we can do it.
Which church was it?
Elevate.
That would be good.
When?
I didn't know.
I don't
that.
know.
On
It's always
Sunday,
it.
because on Sunday they didn't have that.
They put flyers about it. They were doing a helicopter drop, so.
On Sunday, I was there all day and they did not do
But we'll talk, about. I think it was the day before, something like
it.
that.
Maybe Saturday night or something.
We'll talk about that more later on. That's just an idea. Hello?
No, just, I think, is this something just to consider for next year? The whole parents, like in the small kid
Yeah,
section,
Yeah.
So I think we need to barricade those areas,
The little kids.
especially
yeah,
the
the-
parent-free zones.
There was
Yeah.
one group that started like 10 seconds before the other. I know there was something.
Yeah, that one Facebook post was taken down, by the way.
yeah, I know.
Wow.
After I commented on it and everyone else started commenting on it, saying how great the event was.
By the way, I
It went
didn't
away
mean
real
to
quick.
deflate soul spirits with that. I actually put that there just so that we were
Yeah.
aware and we could,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no,
but it wasn't to bring down
Uh,
the team.
in my opinion, the petting zoo was horrible. I'm just giving my opinion out.
It
The
was
petting
very
zoo was
small, no?
extremely tiny.
Yeah.
Like, when I say tiny, it was smaller than this table. Like half of this table.
We're used to a bigger one.
And we were supposed to have 2 of them.
And we're also used to paying $2,500.
Exactly.
But we also
I'll
asked for
take the
2 of
small,
them,
I'll
and we
take the
got 1.
small all day.
But we
With
have
the
to look
little
into that.
roosters and the ducks.
We'll look into that for next year. Anything else really quick on sprinkling, I think. But overall, it was a great event. I know it went a little bit earlier with the egg hunt. It was a little bit difficult, but honestly, pretty much went on time for the most part.
So
Anything from the.
we'll talk about it from, Elevate used there's like a construction, separator that it's like a roll
Yes.
that has holes
Yeah, it's the orange one.
and that worked
That's
really
what
good.
we could use too. We don't need the barricades. We
And
just
then-
need the little fences or whatever.
Yeah,
It looks like a
and
fence.
What they did was they have an opening and then
You let them do
Wonder
it.
what-
You can have 4 different openings on the
Opening.
corners.
Miss, it's the ones who use it, Bowman,
Yeah.
in one like.
They look like a
A/B
fence, but
testing.
they're plastic.
It's the yellow
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
No, they.
And it's a roll, so it's easy to.
It's
That
flexible.
might be cool, like,
Good, you know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
those instead of a caution tape. They look nicer too.
much nicer.
Last thing.
And you knew the kids were inside, so they had the kids inside and then like
Yeah.
the parents outside, and then when they
Flexible.
gave the go, then they would go, so like I saw videos of like everybody running.
That's how you,
And
with
that
that,
would
you could
separate
also,
that.
with that, you could also do multiple egg hunts. You can.
That's-
They also, I saw Elevate had volunteers inside with the little kids, so instead of the parents can't come in, but there's volunteers making sure the little kids. are-
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so that's another idea we could float around, instead of letting the parents come in, letting the volunteers.
Yeah.
That's why that one opening, you're letting them in
Yeah.
And the parents are still sitting on the outside, like right next to the kids, but
But not.
they're
on top
not,
of that.
yeah, they're not on top of
That
it.
way you can kind of restrict eggs too, so it's not 50 eggs with one kid and.
Yep.
Exactly.
For future consideration, I do, and I did speak very briefly with the 0 to 2 and the 3 to 5 age groups, the stations, to make it into one. And put it out there in the main field.
Yeah,
Okay, ya no cabe,
that's
there's
fine.
way too many people.
Also really quick, one other complaint was the lack of variety of candy. It was the same candy in every egg. It was Smarties, every egg, every single egg. that was
It's not
there.
every year.
No,
Well, last year we
No,
did.
we have
Funny.
little toys too.
I would recommend changing it up and have.
You
different-
guys want toys?
I don't care for toys, if it's
Like,
candy, we can do all candy, but have different candies, not all Smarties. It was all Smarties, so, but
The
overall,
only, the only reason why we went with the Smarties is because if we end up going with the Tootsie Rolls, they melt, they get on the
Okay,
concrete,
they're hard
they
to
get
get.
underneath your shoe, eso es una jodienda.
but we can figure that out later on.
That's a future problem.
I think I'm happy to report, I think only one kid was lost and was found very quickly.
Mhm.
But anything other from police updates that we know? I know you weren't able to be there.
No, they didn't say everything on their end looked good.
Perfect. Anything else regarding? Shrimp?
Oh, one more thing, that volunteer brought up to me, sorry, that volunteer brought up to me, just the notes for this next year. Next year, if we can look into like a larger petting zoo, this one's kind of specific.
Alright, cool. I think we've beaten that. We can talk about it later on. Next item, sponsorship. We need sponsorships. Here we, actually, we got a few more sponsorships this time than we thought. I know I talked to, Guinness Prestige, Windows and Doors. Right? Was our sponsor for Spring Fling, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they might wanna look into Halloween, so. Halloween's the next big event. We also have bike rodeo coming up before that too, so we'll start talking about that soon. So yeah, so that's about it. Any announcements really quick, you know?
Rad class, it's coming up. You guys should have gotten emails on that.
Yes.
Women's self-defense, May 27th through the 29th. 6 P.M. 10 to 10 P.M.
You're taking-
It's gonna be at Robert Alonso again. And it's through the Citizens Crime Watch, so if you guys wanna, if they still have space, if you guys wanna,
Are you filling up?
yeah. Last time it filled up super fast and it's filling up again pretty quickly. The only thing is that since it's that date, it's like towards the end of the school year and like
Day of the graduation.
it's a little complicated for some people because of that, because of the school, the ending of the school. But there's a lot of people that aren't, you know, kids that wanna attend, or just adults,
Right.
women that wanna do it. So the feedback is excellent. Everybody says it's great and that they wanna do it multiple times. And that's what they have normally, is they have people coming back to do the class again. But
Yeah,
it's
so,
those days they have to
From my understanding, last year's event, the rad event was great.
take
You know, a lot of people sign up.
a lot of good feedback. Just say if you sign up, you have to go all 3 days. You know, it's a full course.
And it's just free of charge, yeah? Or no?
It's all free. It's all free.
I think that's fantastic.
After you get to beat somebody else.
Ooh.
You know, all that frustration, all that teacher frustration. No. But you can keep your mind, you can think that's.
Brian? Yeah.
We're talking about the pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got it. Anyone else?
I have one.
Okay.
I had my induction ceremony yesterday for NHS and for Anna's their newest secretary.
We're already in the.
I know, that's what I mean.
Amazing.
That's what I mean. That's what I like.
Normally we're on the second item later.
Okay, I recently got the Youth Fair Scholarship, which is like only one person from our school gets it, so I received it. And I committed to Florida State University.
All right. Good job. That's great, man.
Seeing none, I motion to adjourn this meeting
Second.
at. Yeah. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Seeing, oh, yeah.
Wait.
Motion passes.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank
Thank you.
And I thought we started late.